Imagine the gut-wrenching moment. Jannik Sinner, the unflinching world #1 with a game forged in steel, crumples to his knees in a sterile hospital corridor, his racket abandoned in the locker room as news shatters him. His beloved mother, Sigline, the quiet force behind his every triumph, has slipped away in the night, leaving a void deeper than any Grand Slam defeat. What unspoken final words lingered between them, and how will this loss rewrite the script of his unstoppable rise? If this hits hard, smash that like button and subscribe to Tennis Insider for more heartfelt stories that bear the soul of the sport. The sterile hum of the New York hospital lights buzzed overhead as Jannik Sinner paced the corridor, his phone clutched like a lifeline after a grueling US Open semifinal. Victory had tasted sweet just hours earlier, his baseline precision dismantling opponents with surgical calm, but a late-night call from home in Sexten shattered the illusion. His father, Johan, voice cracking over the line, delivered the blow. Sigline, the waitress who had served dreams on silver platters at the family ski lodge, had suffered a sudden heart seizure during dinner. Rushed to the local clinic, she fought briefly, her resilient spirit, mirrored in Jannik's unyielding returns, fading under the weight of exhaustion from years of quiet sacrifice. Jannik's world tilted, flashes of childhood flooded back, her gentle hands packing his first tennis bag, whispering encouragement in German as he traded skis for strings at age 13. The flight from JFK to Bolzano felt eternal, each turbulence jolt echoing the chaos in his chest. He replayed their last conversation, a hurried post-match text praising his Australian Open glory, her reply simple, proud forever, mein Junge. Guilt gnawed, the tour's relentless calendar had stolen too many visits, her health complaints brushed off as fatigue. Landing in the Dolomites' crisp air, he raced to her bedside, only to find monitors silent, her warm smile replaced by a peaceful stillness. Johan enveloped him in a hug, their shared grief a silent rally against the unfairness. The family gathered in the modest House Sinner guest house, walls echoing with stories of Sigline's laughter during winter feasts, her unwavering belief fueling Jannik's improbable leap from junior prodigy to world dominator. Brother Mark, eyes red-rimmed, clutched old photos, the room thick with unspoken what-ifs. Jannik's coach arrived discreetly, offering space amid the storm. As dawn broke over snow-capped peaks, he vowed to honor her by channeling the ache into every forehand, but doubt crept in. Could he step onto clay without her watchful eyes from the stands? The tennis world paused, tributes pouring in from rivals like Alcaraz, who texted, "She's in every ace you hit." Yet for Jannik, the surprise of her absence hit like an unforced error in a championship point, raw and unforgiving. Funerary bells tolled in Sexten, the village mourning its quiet hero, while Jannik grappled with a legacy now laced with loss. Her final gift, a handwritten note found in his childhood drawer, urging him to play with heart, not just hunger. He folded it into his wallet, a talisman against the void. Whispers of Sigline's passing rippled through the tennis circuit like a rogue cross-court shot, halting Jannik's momentum just as he eyed a calendar year Grand Slam. Press conferences turned somber, his usual poise cracking under questions about resilience, each word a labored serve into the unknown. Back in training, the Italian Open loomed, but Rome's Colosseum shadows felt mocking without her ritual good luck calls. Jannik confided in his physiotherapist during late-night sessions, the pain manifesting in tightened shoulders, serves veering wild like grief unchecked. Johan stepped up, trading chef's apron for travel companion, their bond deepening in shared silences over pasta in hotel rooms. Mark joined sporadically, the brothers rebuilding through hikes in the Dolomites, retracing paths Sigline once tread with picnic baskets. A surprise visit from Federer arrived unannounced, the Swiss maestro sharing tales of his own losses, reminding Jannik that champions carry scars as badges. The emotional pivot came at a memorial match in Milan, where Jannik played an exhibition against Djokovic, dedicating every point to her memory. The crowd's ovation mid-match, a standing wave of applause, broke him, tears mixing with sweat as he clinched the final point, her voice echoing in his mind, "Fight like the mountains, steady and strong." Off-court, he dove into her journals, discovered in the attic, pages filled with pride-scribbled match recaps and dreams of his Wimbledon glory. The revelation stunned, she had secretly battled illness for months, shielding him to preserve his focus. Anger flared briefly, then softened into resolve. Sponsors rallied with foundation pledges in her name, turning sorrow into scholarships for South Tyrolean juniors. Rivals sent care packages, Nadal's signed racket, a nod to enduring spirit. Jannik's game evolved subtly, his backhand gaining a fiercer edge, each winner a whisper to the heavens. Beijing's hard courts tested him next, jet lag compounding heartache, but a first-round upset win felt like her gentle nudge. Fans donned pins with her initials, a quiet revolution of support. The tour's glamour paled, he skipped galas for family dinners, rediscovering roots in Sexton's crisp air. Grief's grip loosened incrementally, woven into his narrative as fuel, not fracture. Yet nights brought dreams of her waving from player boxes, a spectral cheer that both soothed and stung. Through it all, Jannik emerged tempered, his #1 ranking a testament to love's enduring serve. Stay connected to Tennis Insider for narratives that ground the glamour of Grand Slams. Seasons shifted like sets in an epic, Jannik's return to form at Wimbledon a poignant homecoming under England's grey skies. The grass whispered memories of Sigleine's tales of alpine meadows, her encouragement the wind at his back during centre court battles. He navigated the draw with mechanical precision, but quarter-final nerves betrayed him, a double fault cascade evoking her absence like a phantom limb. In the locker room, Johan's steady gaze anchored him, recounting her recipe for strudel as a pre-match ritual, the scent imagined wafting through sweat-soaked air. The semi-final against Alcaraz turned brutal, a 5-set saga where every deuce mirrored life's unyielding pull. Victory tasted bittersweet, the final against a resurgent Medvedev a canvas for catharsis. As the ball rocketed off his strings for match point, Jannik glanced skyward, mouthing her name, the crowd's roar a collective embrace. Lifting the Venus rosewater dish, tears streamed freely, his speech a raw elegy, she taught me to rise after every fall. The moment of surprise came post-ceremony, a letter from an anonymous fan, claiming Sigleine's spirit visited in dreams, urging one more slam. Chills ran through him, was it coincidence or cosmic wink? Back home, he established the Sigleine Foundation, funneling winnings into youth programs blending tennis with mental health support, her legacy blooming in clay courts dotting South Tyrol. Brother Mark took up coaching gigs, the family unit mending through shared purpose. Holidays in the lodge brought laughter's tentative return, Johan's cooking a bridge to normalcy. Jannik's podcast debut delved deep, vulnerability bared on balancing stardom and sorrow, resonating with athletes worldwide. Rivals nodded in respect, the tour's unspoken code honoring his quiet fortitude. A surprise collaboration with a local artist birthed murals in Sex 10, her likeness etched in vibrant strokes amid mountain vistas. Grief's waves still crashed unexpectedly, anniversaries triggering mid-rally pauses, but he surfed them with growing grace. The #1 perch felt earned anew, not just through stats but soul. Fans etched her influence into chants, transforming loss into lore. Jannik's next chapter unfolded at the US Open rematch, her memory the ace up his sleeve, propelling him toward history's pantheon. Years folded into legacy as Jannik Sinner, forever altered, stood atop the ATP throne, Sigleine's shadow lengthening into inspiration rather than ache. Retirement whispers grew distant, instead, he eyed Davis Cup glory, captaining Italy with a fire kindled in her honor. Off-court, he authored a memoir, chapters weaving her anecdotes into his ascent, from ski slopes to spotlight, her sacrifices the unseen volleys. The launch in Bolzano drew throngs, Johan beaming beside him, Mark toasting with her favorite Riesling. A surprise element emerged in fan letters, stories of mothers echoing her selflessness, igniting a movement dubbed Sinner's Circle, support networks for touring families. Jannik mentored prodigies, imparting her lesson of joy over pressure, his clinics free in her name. Personal life bloomed too, a quiet engagement to a childhood friend, vows exchanged in the lodge under Dolomite stars, her blessing invoked in every toast. Fatherhood arrived like a soft lob, a son named after her middle name, tiny hands gripping rackets with innate curiosity. Watching him toddle on courts, Jannik felt her presence palpably, a full-circle serve. The tennis world evolved around him, policies for parental leave nodding to his advocacy. Rivalries softened into friendships, Alcaraz godfather to his boy, shared barbecues in Miami blending competition with camaraderie. Anniversaries marked with mountain treks, her favorite hymns sung at dawn. The hook of her loss, once a shattering curiosity, resolved into profound gratitude, each title a posthumous hug. Jannik's Hall of Fame induction loomed, speech drafted with her words at its core, play for love, not laurels. Fans revered him not just as champion, but guardian of heart. In quiet moments, he'd visit her grave, whispering match updates, the wind carrying replies. Her departure had carved depth into his drive, proving grief's alchemy turns pain to power. The former number one's journey, etched in serves and stories, stood as testament, even in absence, a mother's love courts eternal victory. Subscribe to Tennis Insider for tales that volley truth across the net of fame.